Alright, so today we are doing a kind of collection update, not like my full collection like I normally do. This is gonna be like a small, like, little update of some CDs I've gotten in the past, I would say, month and a half. So, my most recent CDs I have gotten are from Reality Fade. So starting off, we have Esophagus, defeated by their Inferiority. This is their debut album. Pretty like, not like their best in my opinion, but they have some very good slamming riffs. And the bottom of the CD has like a design on it. Kind of see me in the camera. You can't really see it too well, but maybe if there was like a little bit of light, I can go try that. Alright, so I have my light that I used to see in my dark closet that's full of all my music. It has like the band logo and the title of the album, and you can kind of see the predator under one of the logos. But the album overall, I mean, it's a good slam album. I mean, not like the best I've heard from the band, but it is good, and I have nothing really bad to say. The booklet has some, like, I think liner notes. I'm not too sure because the text is very kind of hard to read. There's the band. One of the members commented on one of my Instagram posts. Thought that was pretty cool. Plus the record label, Reality Fade. But this album is pretty good. But I think the next release is more better. It's not really an album, it's an EP, but this version has 6 songs instead of 3, because on streaming services, the Killing for Sport EP only has 3 songs, but this comes with the Killing for Sport's hidden tracks, or tapes, or whatever the spine says. It's a pretty good release. I think this is their most popular release to date because the title track has the most, like, insane vocals, and this one has a design on the back of the CD. You can kind of see the predator's mouth, but you can't really like see it good unless you're like getting a good lighting. I think this might be a good little lighting, but it's a good release. I think this is the main CD I wanted from Reality Fade, and I ended up finding the other albums plus the next band that I will show. I might have to be cautious with the first album. Here's the booklet. There's the Killing for Sports hidden tapes album cover, and then the lyrics. If you can even understand them, it's just guttural predator noises. And then the band members. I think that's the band member that commented on my post, the singer. The next album, I haven't heard much yet. I kind of wanted to wait until I had the album physically to give it a listen, because that's mostly how I will listen to an album. I have to, if I own it, I think I have a better listening experience, because streaming it just kind of isn't the best. But this is the 01 album, and I think this is the only version of the Esophagus albums on Reality Fade that is in the 2025 versions, because the other ones are in the like kind of 2024 versions, but this one is in like a 2025 album, but it's got 2024 on it. I don't know, but I ain't really gonna complain about it. I think this album has bass in it compared to the other two albums, because I don't think the other two have bass on it. But I think the only song I've heard off of this album is the single Steamrollin', which kind of sounds like a two-step breakdown song where you'll probably mosh till you are sore. And then it's got some remixes, I think. And finally, Inglorious Beings. This is their latest release, and I don't think I've heard any songs off of the album, but I'm sure it's good, because Esophagus has not made a bad release in my opinion. This disc has a design on the back of it. I will show that once I get done showing the booklet. So I think the 2024 versions have designs on the back of the CDs, but the rest of the CDs I have from Reality Fade are in the 2025, like, label change, I guess. Cool design. I'm thinking about giving this album a listen in the next few days. I did listen to the next band I'm about to show. They are located in China, and their name translated in English is The Dark Prison Massacre. The first album is The Secret of Black Silk Stocking, which is a very insane looking release. I probably can't really show much from this CD because there's like kind of nudity on it, but I mean, it's not as worse as the Cannibal Corpse album, but I just want to play it safe. I mean, Tomb of the Mutilated is kind of worse, but it's like not that bad. Next is a Blood Clot Ejaculation. This one I got back in January. I ordered it in December of 2025. Same with the Reality Fade orders. I ordered those at the end of the year, and this one arrived in January. There was like a huge snowstorm. I had to walk in the snow to get it. And this album used to be on streaming services. I think it got taken down for some reason. Maybe the record label This album has some good tracks. I don't think the band has ever made a bad release. I mean, their guitar player makes like the most heavy riffs you'll ever hear. The song Back Pierced the Pupil, I think that's the title. That's the most popular song off the album. And then there's a Deicide cover, When Satan Rules His World. It's a pretty good cover. I mean, not much I can really say except, I mean, it's a good cover. I'm not gonna say it's terrible, but I do prefer the original song because I'm more used to it. And here's just more pictures of the band. And this band has 2 vocalists and a bass player and a guitar player. I think the drummer is not really in the band during this time. I don't know if they use programmed drums or they had a backup drummer but not in the band. The next album is, I think, their biggest release to date. One of my favorite albums released by the band, Deformity of Human Consciousness. Now, this isn't really a brutal album cover. It's kind of what you would see in the wild. But I think my favorite song off this album is either Hate, Purgatory, or Mortal Awareness. There's a Korn cover. The song Electric Shock is a remix from this album, track number 7. The remix is alright. I do kind of prefer the original. And I think the original has like probably the most funniest like song change because it goes from like a brutal riff and then it cuts to like classical music and then it goes right back into a brutal riff. There's the band. Now these CDs do not have any designs on the bottom, so I really won't be showing the discs until I get to the next band. Just the lyrics, but I think they're translated to English because the band is from China, so I'm sure they're singing in Chinese, but either way, they sound good to me. Even though you can't really understand anything and it's just kind of like esophagus where it's just guttural noises the whole time, but it's the riffs. Sometimes it's not even about the vocals, it's the riffs. Next is Overtreated Cause, Opposited, or Opposited, I don't know what that word is. This is a EP released back in 2019. I think this one is on streaming services, but it's not on the official band's like thing. You gotta kind of look for it. The EP is really good, but the Reality Fade version, because there's one I think on Amazon, but this one is of course from Reality Fade. It comes with 2 bonus tracks. It comes with the Conviction song, which was a single released back in 2020, and Hate Purgatory. It's another remix. This album has 2 remixes of Hate Purgatory. The main songs like Mortal Heritage and Ravage of War, good songs, but like they're not forgettable, but it just flows in together, but I'm not complaining. Now the remix version of Hate Purgatory is alright. It's kind of like a, I would say, kind of like a industrial sound. And then the other remix version, like I don't think it's this one, I think it's this one. I don't know the word for it because I'm not really educated in that stuff, but it's kind of like the old Chinese type style music that they would probably play back in the like early ages of the earth. But it's pretty good. I'm not complaining about it. Next is their like most recent studio album, Triple Insanity. The Reality Fade version has 2 bonus tracks. The normal version has 10 tracks. This one has 12. There's not really much I know about this album except one of the songs has a music video. It's I think No School Violence. Yeah, this one. That's a music video. It was pretty good. I mean, what else is there to say? Oh, I think this is one of the last albums I need to give a listen besides the debut and the rest of their, I think, second album. And last from the Dark Prison Massacre is, I think, the first CD that came in. It's the Corpse Awakening EP. This is their most recent release to date, besides their single that came out. I don't know what it's called, so I gotta give it a listen. There's the band. And that's all the CDs from Reality Fade / the bands. The next band is kind of a brutal death metal / grindcore band. You'll recognize them the second I set the CDs down, so I'm gonna get those. Okay, so the next band is Mortician. Mortician is the brutal death metal / grindcore band that got popular back in, I think, like sometime in the 2020s, but they've been around since the 90s, of course. These are the Hell's Headbangers reissues. J-Dog, if you somehow see this, thanks for the reissues, dude, because I was not trying to pay, I don't know, like $50 for like one Mortician CD. This is the Mortal Massacre compilation with the first 2 EPs from the band, plus like a live set from, I think, 1992. These are colored discs, so I'm probably going to have to use the flashlight on each CD. I think this one is blue. No, it is a very dark red. That is pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen a colored CD a day in my life. And the booklet has the original artworks for the EPs. This is their first release, the Mortal Massacre EP, plus the Brutally Mutilated EP. And then the rest is 2 live sets. One is from 1992, and the second is from 1990. I don't think I've listened to anything off of this except, I think, Red Room? Or is that on a different release? Yeah, it's Red Room. It's a good compilation. Next is House by the Cemetery. This one was going to be the hardest one to find because originally I found all the Mortician albums on eBay. They were still the reissues, but this album or EP was not on there. So when I looked up the label website, I found one of the albums, was putting it in the cart, and then I found the 9 CD discography bundle for like $100. Bought that immediately. I mean, I couldn't resist because I really wanted this EP because I heard it's their most brutal. This is when the band became a two-piece and when they started using the program drums, because I think the drummer left the band and died, or I think he just died. I don't know which one it was. This one I think is another dark red disc. Probably just going to leave the light down. Yeah, it is a dark red. There's some hair on it from my cat. I think the cool part about the CD reissues is that these have more songs than on the streaming versions, because this one has the Napalm Death Scum cover. And this is just a lyric sheet. There's Will in a casket. And a Celtic Frost cover. I keep forgetting about the Celtic Frost cover because there are 3 bands that, or I think 4, that the band has covered, which is Napalm Death, Celtic Frost, Repulsion, and I think Slaughter. All good bands. I have Repulsion's Horrified on CD, but I can never use it or listen to it because when I got it, it was damaged, of course, and I can never find a 2 CD case to replace it with. Next is their big debut, Hacked Up for Barbecue, which is a reference to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This, I think, was the first thing I ever heard from the band besides, you know, the popular stuff that got popular on TikTok or something like that. I think the song that, well, mainly it was the Zombie Apocalypse split on Hacked Up for Barbecue on streaming services, but the official release, I think it was Witch Coven, I think. The song Hack Up for Barbecue has the sample from the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie where she falls and she sees all the bones around the room. She gets put on the hook and hear Leatherface's chainsaw. And this one is definitely not red, and if it is, then I guess I don't remember what colors they are, but I think this is a dark blue, kind of looks purple. Yeah, it's a blue disc that looks kind of purple, but it's blue. It's like a very, very dark blue. I think this was like one of the main albums I was planning on buying from the band, because if it wasn't for the website, I probably wouldn't have bought all those. Plus, I didn't really have enough to afford it, but I still found my ways. But Mortician is one of those bands that if you don't like it, I mean, it's understandable. because I get the movie samples are kind of long, but once those are over and the music kicks in, it is brutal. Next is my favorite release from the band, the Zombie Apocalypse EP. Oh, the CD version, like this one, has 2 covers on it that are not on the streaming services. Mainly the one where it's these 2 combined. It was, I think there was like a version with those 2 on one CD, but I could never find it because it was too expensive. I think the popular songs are the title track, Slaughterhouse, Hell on Earth, which has the most sick Hellraiser like movie sample. The Horrified cover is insane, and then FOD, which I'm not saying the full name of the title, it is a good song cover. I think it was by the band. I forgot what the band name is called. I think I said it earlier. It's either called Slaughter or it's something else. Yeah, Slaughter. Good cover. I think this one is another like blue disc. I gotta check, and I'm having trouble getting the booklet back in. I think the booklets are much smaller than the jewel case. Yeah, it's another dark blue, purple looking disc. This album or EP I have posted on my Instagram. If you want to go check it out, go check out my Instagram. I'm probably going to film a little intro for this video because I might start doing this. Give my channel a little bit of better quality or whatever you may say, because kind of just, you don't want to like just jump into it. Next is Chainsaw Dismember, their most popular album, and this album has the song Rabid, which is the song that blew up on TikTok for some reason, which gave Mortician a little more recognition than they were because they were an underground band. Another reference to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The song Chainsaw Dismemberment, which is the title track, has the sample from the second Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. Good cover. There's a Slaughterhouse Part 2, which continues from the Zombie Apocalypse EP, which they're both from the movie Slaughterhouse. I watched it. It's alright. It's kind of like one of those cheesy 80 movies where they just do more than they probably should. The disc is another blue one. I'm not gonna shine the light because it's gonna be the same, I think, 2 colors. The song Camp Blood has samples from Friday the 13th. Good stuff. Really brutal riffs. And I think this is the last album where they are a 3-piece. They're still using the programmed drums, but they have 2 guitar players at the time of this recording. I ain't gonna really worry about the booklet. Next is Domain of Death. This one is where they start having the albums where it's either you like it or you just don't care for it. I haven't really heard this one yet, but I heard it's good. This one is a very bright red. I don't even need a light. You see me in the reflection of my little beanie on. I think the band from this point onwards have still good releases, but they're like kind of forgettable. Like the main albums you would probably listen to is Hacked Up for Barbecue, the Zombie Apocalypse EP, and Chainsaw Dismemberment. But I mean, I like some songs from their newer stuff. Next is Darkest Days of Horror. This one I still need to give a listen to as well. This one is one of those weird blue colors. This one I need to really give a listen because I have not heard any song except Ghost House, but Ghost House, it's a good song. It's pretty brutal. I mean, when I gave it a listen, because I was watching, I think, someone talk about Mortician's albums, and they mentioned Ghost House. I gave it a listen, and it blew me away. It was brutal. I mean, it's not like bad, but it's still not their best, because, you know, everyone loves the classic Mortician albums. This is the live album, Zombie Massacre, which is just live tracks from the early 2000s. This one's a bright red. The cool thing about this booklet is it has a bunch of pictures of the band on tour. It's pretty cool. I'm just not going to worry about the booklets because I really need to finish this up. Next is Reanimated Dead Flesh. Now, this one, you might can guess what the color of the album is going to be like the disc. Yo, you guessed right, it's red, not green. But, I mean, colors don't really matter, but this is one of those albums where I'm like, it's gotta be green. There ain't no way it ain't green. I think my favorite song off of this album right now is Be My Victim. It is really good. And last but not least, the two CDs I'm going to show last. They're two random CDs, but they're from two good bands. Well, one is a random band I found, but this is a Slayer CD I found when I went to Hippo Records during my spring break. I found it when I was just looking through the shelf. I mean, I didn't see it at first, but it's a cool release. Just some live stuff from the Divine Intervention era. Nothing too special, but glad I added it to my Slayer collection. I've been needing a new Slayer album since I finished all their albums. The last, I think the band is called Hammer. It's a 4-track EP. It was pretty good. Nothing too crazy, but that is my collection update for as of right now. I'm sure I'm gonna have more in the future, but those I kind of wanted to show off, and I didn't really feel like making them into a short. I was gonna show my Morbid Angel CDs, but I just remembered I already showed them off in a short. But when I make a huge collection video, or if I start just making videos on bands' discographies and doing stuff like this where I show the entire CD, then I would do that, because not many people will show the entire CD. They just show the album cover like this and just sit it down. I mean, that kind of gets boring, because sometimes there's videos I want to see of the inside of the entire CD, because if it's something I'm really excited that's coming in the mail, I want to know what it looks like so I can be prepared, because sometimes stuff can be a little different. but also just because I want to know what I'm going to be seeing in my own two eyes. But I will see y'all in the next video. I don't know when that's going to be because my uploading schedule is probably the worst on this platform. Because mainly I just watch videos on this app. I don't really record content. But I still like recording content. But my main social media or platform is Instagram. I will shout that out now. So if you want to check out my CD post or vinyl post like this one, or a CD, or my vocal covers, or some little collection things like the Deicide box set I got a few months ago, check out my Instagram. It is CDT that 70 show 76. Hopefully I will hit 2,000 followers in the next few months or by the end of the year. My newest post is the Esophagus album. So please check out my Instagram or check out my YouTube channel, which you're probably watching this on now. Subscribe. I don't post often. My last post was 4 months ago, but mainly because I just focus on buying music and listening to it and just doing my own thing. YouTube is kind of one of those platforms I enjoy posting on, but I don't do it often because I like to build suspense and get people ready for the next one, but that kind of messes up your audience, but it's still worth the wait. My videos ain't the best. You can tell I'm not really having a professional setup. I have to use two, tables, and I have to be in 0.5, and I'm using a guitar stand as a, camera holder, because I don't really have a tripod. If I ever do, I will probably start, just sitting down behind the camera and just freehanding, because I don't want to be all around the camera or all that, but I don't mind it either. But I will see y'all in the next one, and please follow my Instagram. I'm mainly on there, and if you ever just want to DM me or just check out my content and all that, you can check out my Instagram. Sometimes I don't post often on my Instagram sometimes, but I'm on my posting almost every day. So subscribe and follow my Insta, and I will see you in the next one.